Hi everyone, welcome to the Stock Hacker Academy show. That's Joel, I'm Erwin, and Joel, we're talking about stock splits today.
We've got a few coming up real quick too.
Yeah, unfortunately this will come out after one of the big ones. We got on tap, we have Shopify, Amazon, and Google.
Yes.
Okay, who are splitting in the near term. One of them, who's going to split before the show drops?
I believe it's Amazon. Yeah, it'll be Amazon.
So that's exciting. So let's talk about, so quickly, share split. Tesla was a good example. The stock was, what, 4,000 or 5,000 before they split?
Did it get that high? I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was high.
It got pretty high, yeah. It was $4,000 or $5,000 per share, and then they split about 10 to 1, so then the stock fell, then fall. For every one share an investor had, they were issued 10 shares of the same company. Nothing fundamentally changes. So instead of assuming Tesla was $4,000, you would have had 10 shares for $400 each. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a good explanation of what a stock split is.
Yeah, it makes it cheaper to get in essentially.
Yes, it's more affordable for anyone to actually start owning shares of their favorite company. So why do companies split their stock?
A lot of the time, it just comes down to they want more investors. So it's nice to have. It's kind of this prestigious thing to have a high value stock, but at a certain
like Berkshire.
Yeah, like Berkshire, $500,000. I don't know what it is right now that it hit that point, but it becomes inaccessible to a lot of smaller investors, and not even just like retail investors. Some funds won't have as big positions because liquidity becomes an issue. It's harder to get in and out with the capital that you have on hand. So when your shares cost less, you can sell parts of positions easier. Mm-hmm. So it can be included in different funds, and then obviously retail investors like us can get in a lot easier too.
Mm-hmm. Good example, Amazon. I've wanted to own some Amazon, but it was pretty expensive when it got to like $3,600 per share. Yeah. And they're splitting how much?
20 to 1.
20 to 1. Yeah. So as we record, we're looking at a price of around just over $2,400. So 20 to 1. So it'd be about $120 per share after the split.
Much more accessible. Google's around the same. They're $2,300. They're going to do a 20 to 1 split as well, but they will split in July 18th. So we got some time there. And then the other one is Shopify. They're at $390 right now.
That's US dollars, folks.
Yeah,
I know we have many Canadian followers, so the stock didn't just fall apart.
Yeah. Shopify is $390. They're going to do a 10 to 1 split on 29th of June.
Right. Because even at $390 per share, that's quite an expense. That's a high price per share. Again, that's a subjective. That's totally subjective. Mm-hmm. And Shopify was over $1,500 not that long ago.
Yeah.
And that was even harder to digest. To have to shell out $1,500 US for one share. So again, even though I mentioned earlier, fundamentally nothing's changed with the company. Fundamentally nothing changed with the stock. It becomes more accessible for everyday investors to be able to access ownership and become more affordable for investors to get into on the stock. Mm-hmm. I know for myself, I don't want a lot of big ticket price shares in my portfolio because again, it takes up a lot of my liquidity, and that's not different for anyone else. And we've seen this in with fractional ownership of real estate, for example. We've seen it seems to be more common in commercial real estate, something that's extremely inaccessible to everyday investors, and now with companies out there offering fractional ownership, now regular everyday people can get in for as little as $1, $5, $100 to be able to get shares of what is a very large investment property.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually a really good point too. So a lot of platforms, a lot of brokers will allow you to buy a fraction of a share. So you can have 0.001 of a share of Shopify, Amazon, Google, whatever, as long as the broker allows you to go that low. And so you're thinking, well, if everybody...
And the interactive brokers who we use commonly, that they allow fractional ownership, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Shout out interactive brokers.
And so then you're saying, well, accessibility is already there. People can get in with whatever they want. That you also get that fraction of the dividend, but you don't technically own the share at that point. Like you own a portion of the broker's shares. And that's a very high level way of looking at it. That I don't know if that's completely correct, but that's essentially how it goes. So it's where so let's say for Amazon, all of a sudden the price goes from $2,400 down to $120. Well, it's a lot easier to have shares, your own portfolio now, your own percentage of your portfolio be in something like Amazon or Google, and you have full ownership of those shares and voting rights, which you don't have with fractional. So,
right. So again, even just to hammer it home, fundamentally, nothing changed. But more buyers, more investors having access means there's more buyers. So generally, that should be positive price action. But again, nothing really has changed with the company. So do we have some examples of past stock splits we can go over?
Most recent bigger ones that we have are Nvidia and CSX. So Nvidia, and I'll have it up on the screen here. They split back on the 20th of July last year. They did a 4-to-1 split, and their stock price gently rose over time. It's not like it was an instant thing. Now you notice that actually at the point where it split, briefly earlier this year, Nvidia actually dropped below their pre-split price. Now that's just the market moving, but this is a really important point. Just because a stock is splitting, A, it doesn't mean it's going to go up. B, it doesn't mean, like again, you keep saying the underlying fundamentals haven't changed. So it doesn't mean it's never going to reach that price again. It just means that more people technically have access to it. Or you yourself, if you had the buying power for a $700 stock and $800 stock, but now you now you can get more if you want, or you can structure your portfolio. There's more flexibility to structure your portfolio differently. So fewer shares or more shares, whatever you want to do. So this proves that stock splits don't really do anything to a company's, don't guarantee anything for a company's share price. Same thing with CSX. The stock split, let's go back to the daily so we can see where the stock split was. Yep, 29th of June last year, it was a 3-to-1 stock split. And look at the price action since the stock split, right? It's been all over the map. It's dropped below the pre-split price several times over the last year and has only recently recovered back above it. So it just means that if you didn't have access to it before, or if you liked the company but you were worried about putting a large portion of your portfolio into one company for fewer shares, well, now you have flexibility and options.
And then what we do is with this as investors, specifically because we're stock hackers and what we teach in Stock Hacker Academy, just part of it is Joel and I and many of our students like to write covered calls. So to own 100 shares of Amazon or even Shopify at its current price, $390. At $390 to own 100 shares, that's a you have to come up with $40,000 in order to own 100 shares. For those who don't know, to sell a covered call, you need to start with at least 100 shares. So I'm much more willing to own 100 shares post split, and then implement a covered call strategy to generate cash flow on a much lower price per share stock. So then again, this makes a lot of these stocks more accessible to people, everyday people like Joel and myself, in order to do one of our favorite strategies that's great for generating cash flow within a TFSA or an RSP account.
And you can even plan ahead a little bit, right? If you're confident with where the long-term vision for a particular company, so like Amazon or Google, they aren't going anywhere too quickly. These are companies that have proven their staying power, especially Amazon. They survived the last 2 major recessions and market crashes, 3 if you count COVID. If you just want to hold for a long time and you're convinced and you feel good about where they're going to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years, and you have the capital available, buying beforehand. So let's say Amazon, buy 5 shares of Amazon now, or if you think it's going to go up and you want to preempt the few days before there can be, it's not always guaranteed, there can be some buying a few days beforehand, pushing the price up. So you want to get in while it's still calm. Buy 5 shares, it gets split 20 ways. You now have 100 shares of Amazon, and you can start writing covered calls. It's what do you want to do? What do you feel comfortable with? It's only if you think that this is worth holding over the long term.
Yeah, what you believe about what the stock's going to do, what the company's going to do, is more important than the fact it's going to be splitting.
Absolutely, 100%. So there can be some media attention drummed up around these stocks and a lot of speculation, but it always comes back to how do you feel about the company long term, and do you like them? Do you want to hold them?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anything else? And then for those who are not familiar with covered calls, we cover that in our Option for Beginners series. And folks can just find it.
We'll have a link in the description. Yep. We'll make sure that you guys can get to that real easy.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's all for now.
Fantastic.
I will mention, a lot of talk is about recession with inflation prices, and then obviously with how much the stock inflation prices, with inflation, how much the stock market has already dropped. Are we going to see a market crash? Are we in a market crash? So the biggest question we've been thinking about and we've been trying to answer is, what happens? What do I do if the market crashes in 2022? So we literally wrote a guide for this for you. So if you're worried about a market crash coming or what to do in the current market environment, there's a link for that report below, and you can download it for free. And it's made specifically for you guys. That's all.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and tune in until next week.